Hello guys and welcome back. Today I am excited to dive into a brand that I absolutely love and I think it's just a little bit more unique, and that is Ciele Beauty. This brand is founded by two females. You have Nikki, who is a celebrity makeup artist. She's based in LA and she's worked with a ton of different celebrities. Also, she was an ambassador for Bobbi Brown, Dior, NARS, so she has a lot of experience in the beauty industry. And then the other female is Ciele. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But fun fact, she used to be a rock climber, which is very exciting because my husband used to rock climb. And she has a lot of experience in the beauty world as well. She worked for Hourglass and kind of helped open up the stores. So I just think that this brand and this combination of these women coming together, creating this beautiful brand, is just to be celebrated, and I'm excited about it. So I have pretty much all of their products. I just saw online that they're coming out with a new product. I don't have it. I don't even know what it is. Besides that product, I pretty much own all of them. They do have some brushes as well. And then most of the other products are base products like foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, contour, blush, and all of them contain SPF. So the whole idea of the brand is, first of all, that they are a clean beauty brand. They don't work with a ton of different ingredients that are harmful for your skin. You can go look on their website and they have a huge list. And then all of their products have SPF in it to help protect your skin. Now, usually I don't care so much about the SPF in my foundation or products because it's not high enough to where I can just use the products. I have to put an SPF under it, and I always do, even with these products. But I do like that all the base products have SPF. So when I am putting their foundation on or their skin tint, I know that I have an extra layer of protection. And on top of that, the bronzer also has SPF, and the blush and the highlighter. So I actually enjoy that, and I have found it useful mostly in the summertime. So let's dive into the products. They do have some brushes and tools. I am missing a couple of those. I don't have their foundation one and their powder, and those are dual-ended like this one. But I do have 3 of them here, and their sponge, which I can't find anywhere. And I actually really like that sponge. I think my kids probably took it. Overall, I think the brushes are okay. I think the way they are made, the quality is really nice. Mostly this dual-ended one, the Bronze and Glow. I really like this side, but I don't use this one, for example. I've used it a couple times and it just has not worked for me. And then the Pinpoint Conceal, I actually do like this one because I can kind of pinpoint and kind of blend in my concealer. You guys can see here I have a cut, so I like using it for that. But I think I would really enjoy their other brushes, the bigger ones. I enjoy bigger brushes and fluffier, mostly for my powders or for the blushes. I probably wouldn't use a brush like this. Let's start with their Tint and Protect SPF 50. This is a mineral SPF, and it is non-comedogenic, and I have the shade 04 Light Medium. Now this one, besides the fact that it says that it's just a tint, I actually find it to be more of a medium coverage. It does have a little pump. You have the cap right here, the pump, and I did shake it before. And you have this pipette, and the product comes out quite easily. It's not my favorite packaging just in general. I don't like these pipettes, but I actually haven't had a mess with it, which is nice. I use my finger for this product because, as you can see, it is quite liquidy, and I find my fingers to work really well with this. I don't need a brush, and I think that's why I like the brand so much, is that it's just easy. You know, it's not very complicated. It's a brand that I would consider almost minimalistic. Not quite like Merit. I feel like it has more coverage than Merit and overall more pigment, but it's still a very intuitive brand that's not complicated. And like you can see, I can just kind of use my finger to apply this product. I actually love this skin tint. I think it is beautiful. This is the color 4. I am a little tan right now, so it may be just a little bit light, but that's okay. We can bronze up. We also have some bronzing drops from them that I could have combined with this if I wanted to, but I just want you to see the product by itself. So when it goes on, it is quite moisturizing, and you can see it has quite a bit of glow, but this will dry down throughout the day and it won't have any of that stickiness left. Even now, I feel like it's already kind of dried down. Sometimes with these tinted products, I find myself just desiring powder on top of it to kind of set it. And with this one, I don't feel that need. I have to say that I have dry skin though. So if you have oilier skin, that's a whole nother story. Then you may really need that powder, which they do have one. I'll talk about it in a little bit. But I feel like this has already set. It still has that glow. And I feel like my skin is pretty covered. I would say medium coverage almost. I'm going to look up close just to make sure that I agree with my statement here. But I can shear this out to where I have just more of a lighter coverage. But yeah, looking at my skin right now, I feel like my freckles are kind of covered. I would consider this a medium coverage. You guys saw just how easy it was to blend in. I think it is a great product, something that I really, really like. But I do think it is more geared towards drier skin, normal skin. I think if you have oily skin, you will crave some sort of a powder on top of it. Here is how the skin tint looks. I think it blended into my skin really nicely. You don't really see it on the skin. It almost looks like my skin just looks hydrated. It does have that glow to it, but it doesn't look oily, and it certainly does not feel oily. Right now, if I touch it, it's, I would say, 85% set down, and I know throughout the day this will completely set down. So I am loving this skin tint. I think this is the first thing I've tried from the brand and fell in love with it. This is my second bottle. I did forget to mention that this is $44 and you get 1.28 fluid ounces, which is more than normal. You usually get 1 ounce in your skin tints or foundations. Moving on to their concealer. This is the Conceal and Protect SPF 50. I have 2 shades here. I'm pretty sure one's 5 and one is 6. Yes, 5N and 6P. This concealer is $36 and you get 7 grams of product. I feel like that's quite high. The price seems quite up there. You're getting closer to the Armani price, but this is supposed to have full coverage, so you don't need a lot of product. So I'm going to swatch the 2 shades that I have. This is 5N and 6P. I like 6P because it does have that peachy undertone. 5N is just more neutral, and right now it would be just too light for my skin. Now I want you to see the texture of this. This is a thicker concealer. Look at that. And full coverage. Like, you can't see anything through that. And I guess I was a little surprised because I was expecting it to be a light to medium coverage, very hydrating. And it is hydrating, but the full coverage and the texture of it, it's more creamier and thicker in texture. So that surprised me with this concealer because I really was expecting something just lighter. So this also dries down quite quickly. It almost feels like a paint that's drying down. It's a very smoothing, I have to say that. And I thought I would really dislike this concealer just because it's not what I like in concealers. Usually I like something that is medium coverage and it's a little bit thinner in texture and not full coverage. But I do like it. I don't love it. I'm just going to add a little bit here. And then I'm going to take their brush. This is the Bronze and Glow brush. And I'm going to take this side and blend this in. Because this dries down quite quickly, you have to work a little faster with this. You can see just how well it covered. I probably shouldn't have added that spot there, but oh well. So that was pretty fast. It was easy to blend out. Mostly with the base that I have, it is quite hydrating, so I don't feel like it's clinging to dry patches or anything like that. But it feels a little thicker than what I'm used to and probably what I was expecting. I think I enjoy this concealer much more on the face. You'll see how I'll use it in just a little bit. So this is the concealer under my eyes. I have not set it, and that's one good thing about this concealer. I don't feel the need to set it because it almost sets itself. It does have this more natural finish where it sets down, but it's not matte, and it's definitely not super glowy either. Right now it may look a little bit glowier because it'll take a little bit for it to completely set down. I think it's pretty. I think if you need full coverage, this is very nice. You just have to be careful to not overuse it. And I think under my eyes, I need something a little bit more hydrating and maybe a little bit thinner. But I will show you that I like to use it on my kind of face. I took a little bit of it and I'm taking their concealer brush. And I'm going to clean, for example, right here where I had a cut around my lips. I woke up this morning and my lips were dry and I just yawned and it cracked. That was lovely. So I'm just gonna kind of clean this up here. I will put it on my any dots that I have throughout my face. So I'm gonna add some here. And I'm actually gonna go with my finger, and I love this concealer for this. I think for spot concealing, it's incredible because it does have that thicker texture and it will stay in place. It will not budge. So I add a little bit. You can take the other side and tap this in or take your finger. I just like my finger. I have quite a lot of dryness around here. And so I'm going to go with this. And this does a great job covering this. I really like it on the skin. I think that really perfected my skin and covered everything that I needed covered. I'm going to powder at the end. I do have the Ciele powder right here, but I'm going to move on to their bronzing products. They have two types. They have their bronzing drops and then their Sculpt and Protect. So this one I have learned to love. First time I've used it, I liked it, but I felt like it was a little thick. But the more I used it, the more I loved it and kind of found it reliable and wanting to reach for it because I knew I put it on and it would last all day. And there's a couple ways I use it. I sometimes swipe it and use a denser brush to blend that out, or I'll take it straight on the brush and then blend the product into my skin. So I really like this product. I find the packaging not a very luxurious. It's kind of plasticky and it just feels cheap. This, I think, is the only product from the Ciele line that I don't like the packaging. It's the only one that actually feels cheap. And this one is $34 and it has SPF 30. And then you have these Protect and Bronze and Protect. This is SPF 50. So these are the bronzing drops. I think these are $36 and you get 1.01 fluid ounces. I have two colors and I think that's all they have, 01 and 02. I will swatch them right here. And these are products that are multitasking. You can put them as a bronzer, contour. You can mix it into your skin tint to darken it up. You can use it all over your face to bronze up with some moisturizer. You can put it on your body. So you really can do so many different things with the product. Here is the shade 01. And 02. 02 has almost this olivey undertone. And this is the bronzing stick in 02 medium. I'm going to blend this out so you can see the colors a little bit better. So that is the bronzing drops. And let's blend this one as well. That is a contour. These are very liquidy, kind of serum almost like. And this has quite some thickness to it. So I'm trying to think how I want to apply these. Let's do the shade 01 on this side from the bronzing drops. Eventually I'm going to even it out, but I want to show you how I would use this. So I'll show you how easy these are. They remind me a lot of the Armani drops. They remind me of the new ones that I just reviewed, the Westman Atelier ones. So they all do very similar things. So you see how soft that is? I think it's really, really beautiful. I'm gonna do a little bit at the top here. Just contouring my skin, taking it on the chin. These are quite pigmented, so you can really build them up. I intentionally have worked very gently with a brush because I don't want too much product. But I'm gonna build it up right here so you can see. So I think that has a little bit more of a almost pinky undertone for lighter, fair skin. There's only 2 colors at the moment, and they definitely need to expand and give us some deeper colors as well. Here is the shade 1 of the bronzing drops. I actually mainly use shade 2 in their bronzing drops because I use them to mix into my foundations or on the collarbone, just gonna, you know, blend it into my skin. But now let's go in with their sculpting stick, and I'm gonna take this brush. This is from Serum. It is the T47, and I'm just gonna take it on the brush and then go in here and blend it into the skin. You can see that this is much warmer. Maybe I applied a little too much. So this for me, it's almost like a bronzer, and I definitely applied too much. I'm sorry, guys. Here is the shade 2 of the stick. You can see that it's pretty much a bronzer on me. It's much warmer compared to this side. This is more sculpting, and this is a little bit more bright and almost in your face. This is so subtle. It's like barely there, which I really like. But because of the application method, I do reach for the bronzer a little bit more because it's faster, easier. I can just kind of swipe it on my face. But I do have to say that the effect of the bronzing drops is prettier. I think it looks much more kind of blended into my skin, almost invisible, where this, you really see the bronziness that it has, which is something that probably a lot of people prefer. I'm trying to see how I could incorporate shade 2 from the bronzing drops, but I really think it would be too much. It would mess my makeup up just because we have so many different products on right now. But shade 2 I've used in many other videos. It's the one that I use mostly. So I'll let you guys look that up. All right, I'm just gonna even this out a little bit and take some of the bronzing stick on this side. I really feel like I need to set my T-zone. It's looking quite glowy with all these liquid products. So we're gonna move on to their powder. This is $38. It is an SPF 30 and it is just a loose powder. It does come in different colors. I picked mine in the shade 01 and it has this little mesh at the top. Now this product is my least favorite product from them. I'm gonna take the little kind of puff that it comes with, take a little bit of the product. I'm taking it off as well, blending it into my hand and then going on my skin. And the reason it's not like my favorite and go-to is that it's not too smoothing. It's there, but unlike other powders that I just don't even see them on my skin, they just set a little bit. This one, I feel like I do kind of see it on my face, and not in a great way. It's not extra blurring. It doesn't do too much, yet I see it on the skin. You guys can see here. It's just not my favorite. I don't think it's a terrible powder. I just don't think it's great. So if I could recommend one product to skip, it would be this one. There's so many better powders out there. I have been trying to test out this powder for the past couple of weeks, and I've just come to the conclusion that I don't really like it. It does take that glow away, but it gives me almost a like filter on top of my skin, but not a smoothing filter. It just looks like it's brightening, but not in a good way. I don't know how to describe it. Can you guys tell? It just, there's something about it that I don't like. Maybe it's the color that I picked up, but every time I go with this powder, I'm like, oh, I just want to reach for another one. I don't know if the color, the yellowness from the pigment is what I don't like about it. And honestly, if I kind of touch my skin, I do see some dryness. So in my opinion, this is my least favorite product from them, and I would not recommend. There's so many other good powders out there that you can pick from that have SPF in them. This is a no-go for me. Okay, let's move on from this one. I hate talking bad about products from brands that I absolutely love, but that's just the truth. I can't love everything. Okay, moving on to my number one favorite product from them, and that is their blushes. I love them. These liquid blushes are top-notch, one of the best in the industry, in my humble opinion. I have 2, 4, 5 colors. Let's see how many they have. They have a total of 7 colors, and they are $34 each. It is SPF 50. Here are the colors that I have, and we're gonna start from this side. We first have June, which is a nice deep color. Giselle is this bright fuchsia color. Then we have Behati, which is that perfect nudie color. Then a peachier shade, which is Elodie. Love this one. That's the first one I ever got from them. And then January, which is this kind of baby pink right here. Beautiful colors. I love every single one of this color, but today I kind of want to put this brighter one on. I feel like with my blue top, it could work. The formula, this is light, very blendable, very pigmented, as you can see, but I love them. They do have this kind of almost dewy effect on your cheeks, and they're fabulous. I have nothing negative to say about these. I think they're my number one. I actually know they're my number one product from them. Absolutely genius. You can dot it on, but because this color is so bright, I will go in with a brush first. I'm just gonna work it into the brush, and then we're gonna go and get nice and rosy on our cheeks. Oh, so beautiful. I think these are very blendable. And right now it's going over powder, and you can see it's not clinging to anything. They are stunning. They do sit down. They never sit like sticky at all. I love the colors. Again, this is my number one product from them. I think it is gorgeous. I almost wish I did this before the powder so you can see the product, because the powder almost gave me that, I don't know, yellow under eye, and it takes away from the beautiful tone of the blush. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so blendable. I use these on my lips as well, which I'll show you in just a moment. I'm actually going to take a little bit of my La Prairie powder and set the center here, and hopefully that will blend in the powder with the blush in a softer way. I almost feel like that color of the powder is just too harsh. Maybe that's the problem that I have. I am quite particular with powders, so most of the powders I don't like. Okay, I feel like that kind of helped, smoothed it out. What do you guys think? Let's build up the color a little bit more now. There we have the color just a little bit more built up. I think it's beautiful. Take a little bit of this. You can add it on your lips as well. That is so pretty. You can put a little bit of liner, and there you go. You got a lip from them as well. This is without a doubt my number one product from Ciele, and one of my top blushes, like liquid blushes in my entire collection. I think they're stunning, great formula. There's a slight glow to it, but it's completely set. This has no tackiness to it. It sets down by itself. You don't need to put a powder on top of it. They are fantastic. 10 out of 10. I'm going to take just a little bit of this bronzer and swipe it up here, because they don't have any eye colors or anything like that. I'll put a little bit of mascara on as well. I'm just taking the same one, going right here to give a shadow to my eyes. Let me put some mascara on and then we're going to come back with the highlighter. I put my Chantecaille mascara on and I did kind of clean up my lip with the Anastasia lip liner in Mocha. I just kind of blended the edges a little bit. So we have pretty much the whole makeup done. Last product are these Glow and Protect SPF 50. And these are brand new. I've only had them for a few weeks and they are $34. Also, the blushes were $34, worth every penny in my humble opinion. And these, I did just mention them in a past video, but this formula is actually quite interesting. I was expecting these to be very thin and light and almost see-through, but these have quite a base to it and they're creamier. So let me swatch them for you. The first one is Church, which again, the color is a little bit more interesting. It has some yellow in it. So it's very, very brightening. I'm doing this with my left hand, so be patient with me. See, that is a lot of pigment. And then the shade Piper. That is my favorite color. It's the one I've been reaching for quite a lot. It's like this kind of slight pinky, a little bit rose goldy color. It's not this bright pink. And then I think this is Penny. Penny is this deeper shade that kind of reminds me a little bit of Peau de Pêche. Wow, my swatches are so bad. So those are the three colors from their new Glow highlighters. I'm going to blend them out. And again, they have a thicker base to them. They're not this kind of barely their highlighter. They've got substance to it. The way I've been using these are just regular highlighters, but I've also combined them with my blush. So if you combine the blushes together with the highlighters, makes this beautiful, beautiful finish. So I put a little bit of the blush, a little bit of a highlighter, and when you mix them, you get this glowy goddess. Look at that right there. That is absolutely stunning. Let's just add a little bit of my lips. I would put this all over my cheek, but I think I want to show you the highlighters by themselves, but they're very versatile. Another way that I've been using them is to mix it into my foundation. If I want a glowier base, I can add a little bit of this, mix it in, and also put it under a foundation, and it will actually kind of show through the foundation because they are more pigmented. So first time I swatched them, I was like, wow, I like them, but they're quite pigmented, and I thought maybe they would be a little finicky to work with because of that, but I actually found it so much more versatile having that thicker base to it, and just more, it adds a little bit more punch and color. So I am loving them. I have been using them quite a lot, and let's use my favorite color. This is the shade Piper, and I take my fingers with it. You can take a brush. So I have the color right here. And then I'm just going to go right on top of my high points right here. May have added it a little too much in the front. It's okay. Again, I probably should have done this before powder. Look at that glow. That is so, so beautiful. I love this color. It is my perfect shade. But I do take sometimes the color Church and add it right in the top or the high points of my cheek, and it really brightens it up. Just gonna add a little bit right here, just a little bit on my nose. And again, this sets down, it doesn't stay super glowy. Let's take it on our eyelid as well. Just a little bit of brightness. Correction, I said it doesn't stay glowy, it doesn't stay sticky. It does stay glowy. Add a little bit of glow here. Yeah, that is their new highlighter, and I love it. I think it is a little bit more unique than the other highlighters that I've seen. Like the Armani, they're very, very thin, kind of barely any base to them. Those look almost like wet on your skin. This just, it looks creamy on your skin, you know? Like, it's there. It's pigmented, you see it, but it still blends into your skin really nicely. But instead of a wet effect, it almost gives like this creaminess effect to your cheeks. I really hope I'm making sense. I'm explaining the best that I can. And I really like it. It's very flexible. You can use a ton of it. You can use just a little bit of it. And again, you can mix and match throughout this whole brand, honestly. The same with the drops. You can mix and match in your foundation. And I really like it. The shade Penny is one that I use more as a blush highlighter in one, almost like a blush topper, because it is more pigmented. I love the color though. It is so, so beautiful. Maybe we should put just a dot on the eyes right here just so you can see it. May have added a little bit too much, but look how pretty that color is. It's stunning. I think this, if you have deeper skin tone, it will be a nice bright highlighter for you. If you have lighter skin tone, again, you can use it as a blush topper or just a blush, a very highlighty blush. That's pretty. And those are all the products from Ciele. What do you guys think? I really like how my makeup turned out. I feel very fresh, put together, but I don't feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup and it's heavy, and I don't know, I still feel like myself. I love the blush highlighter combo. That's my favorite. So if I could pick my top 3 from the brand, definitely the blush is number 1. Absolutely. I think my number 2 would be the skin tint. I really like it. I think it's a great everyday product. And number 3, ooh, this is kind of hard, but I think I'm going to go with their new glow highlighters, which is kind of a shock for me because I thought truly I'll go for their stick or their bronzing drops because I've been having them for a while. I've been using them a lot, but there's something so unique about these highlighter, I think I keep calling them drops. They're just highlighter, cream highlighters. I think they're very versatile. I really like the effect that it has. It has absolutely no shimmer, and I love the versatility of me being able to combine with other products. So I think those are my top 3 Ciele products. But besides the powder, I really like all of their powders and recommend them. What do you guys think about the whole SPF in all of their products? Do you like that? Do you want to stay away from it? I don't know. I like it. I feel like I'm extra protected because every single product that I put on my skin has some SPF on it. But I would say I wouldn't rely only on the SPF from these products. I would definitely use a SPF under it. I love the brand. I'm actually excited to see what other products they are coming out with, and I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.